Today we're going to be rewiring a few nuances like some of our water temperature gauges and my reverse trigger lights and things like that. Alright, so we're redoing the wiring, getting everything on here. With this situation, the ground is in the sensor itself, going to the block, but there is a ground wire here, so I decided to extend it just in case that fails. I have a ground attached to later, so figured might as well do it once. Alright, so I just made up these cables with the loop and the male ends, and so we're going to put that right on there for our bypass switch, so you can't start the car in the wrong gear. And if you look over here, you can see the little loop of green wire there. So that's the bypass over there, which they call it the clutch bypass since I'm automatic. You know, it's for my shifter. So what I could do is test it by using this wire and keep that bypass wire with me, so if something ever happens I could just switch it over and still start the car. So we're going to pop that in. So I've been talking about a reverse light LED trigger system based off the Holly computer, and I got my LEDs here. I got my trigger switch, so I'm just triggering a ground into the computer, and then the computer has a few different settings, and what I set it up for is, you know, trigger this, it will turn the light on, and then once I get past 2000 RPMs it will automatically turn the light off, and that way, you know, if I trigger this thing I don't go driving with my reverse lights on all the time. Well, in theory it was all awesome, but the way that they're programming the computer, it's not working. So let me show you what's going on. So as you can see, they're turning it off at 2000, but then they're turning it back on, and that's not what I wanted. I thought it would turn it off once it gets past 2000, and then it'd be off until I hit the input trigger again. And so there's just not enough configuration of the computer to do exactly what I want. And so what I'm going to decide to do is I'll have this to where the light is off, and then I'll put a non-momentary, so a latching switch, and when I latch it, the LED turns on and the lights turn on in the back. And that way this light is a reminder, because they are pretty bright, just to give you an idea. You know, they light up pretty bright. So you know, that will be the best reminder for me to turn it back off. So I'm going to have to manually do that. And I remember they do make some kind of device that would do it automatically here, but I don't think it will fit with my trans tunnel, and I've heard, you know, like it's kind of rigged. It doesn't work that well. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's the reason that I bailed on that to begin with. That was a long time ago, year and a half ago, research. So I'll look at it one more time just in case. But so my plans are foiled. A little disappointed about that. So I hooked up my, it used to be the clutch safety switch. Now I don't know what they call this, the gear switch. And it's working for, it won't start the car in reverse, but it will start the car while it's in drive. At least I thought it was in drive. I doubt it was in neutral. So, you know, this is a very finicky switch. I thought I got it pretty dialed in a while ago, but, you know, reverse is the only one I'm really worried about, because that's the closest to park. So we're okay on that one. So then I switched the water temperature gauge from an LS, which was working on this gauge, but it was just not the right temperature. It was like 20 degrees too high or something. And I switched it over to the Autometer temperature gauge for an LS engine, and now it doesn't work. Almost like I'm not getting a ground or something. And, you know, it should be grounded to the engine. I put an extra ground on there. That didn't help. So maybe the sensor's just bad right out of the gate. So I got to figure out what's going on with that, which means a tech support call, and which is not available today. So, you know, I got 0.5 out of 3. 3 changes and only 0.5 works. So, yeah, not too fun, but at least I'm kind of hopping back into stuff and digging in, and that's better than sitting around doing nothing, so happy about that.